My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Spire, the High Ascension grind. High Ascension grind? No, it's the Heartbreaker grind. The Heartbreaker Chronicles in High Ascension in Slay the Spire. My name is Rhapsody. Whew. Ironclad, would you like to load? Ah, there we go. Excellent. Remove 2 cards. Oh, that's always tempting. Might be able to get 1 elite down, though. With the enemies in X3 combats have 1 HP, though. Seems good to me. I can't do it, can I? Draft hardcore into Rampage this early? I have a shop in the next space. I could remove a card there. Okay. Alright. We'll do it. Sundial, every time you shuffle your deck, gain 2 energy. The game is egging me on at this point. Pommel Strike for the card draw. Not a combat, that's really good. So now we can go for another elite. Getting it for free. Paper Frog, enemies with vulnerable take 75% more damage rather than 50% more damage. No. None of those. Upgrade the Rampage, then upgrade the Bash next, then the Pommel Strike. Remove a card here. Second Rampage. No. We'll take a trip. And a Shrug It Off. There we go. Bag of Marbles. Start each combat with 1 vulnerable on all enemies. With the Paper Frog, enemies with vulnerable take 75% more damage rather than 50%. And the fact that this deck is necessarily going to include more draw. This is off to a good start. Obviously got to keep the vulnerability up, and the next turn is lethal. Tiny chest, gain 30 gold. You're 10% more likely to find treasure in question mark rooms. See, the problem here is if I actually want to win against the heart, it's Body Slam, Juggernaut, it's all those kinds of things. But I'm not doing it. No, I want to do a Rampage deck. Sure, it might just be an Ascension 15 win, but an Ascension 15 win is an Ascension 15 win. That's still good. We could hardly have been better, offered a better set of relics for accomplishing this, though. Like, incentive to cycle through our deck constantly, the vulnerability dealing extra damage, vulnerability on the first turn, and obviously trip for free vulnerability. That was literally a misclick. I don't want to take a bunch of damage on floor 1 because I misclicked. The card draw should be seeded, so it really shouldn't change anything that happens there. I was trying to play the Orph one that Shrug It Off there. Shrug It Off. There we go. Now we can trip, double strike the backliner, and this is to try and set up for lethal on the backliner next turn, which will save me a lot of HP. 10 specifically. It's not going to get that done. Wow. That's really annoying. All of the cards left in my draw pile were attacking cards. Yeah, I just wasted some damage there, but that was a mistake rather than a misclick, so that stays. I don't intend to save quit often. It's just when I literally, like, deathly screw up. Or if it's already made no difference. It's fine. I'll defend for the extra 2 damage. Okay. Oh, even got to set up vulnerability. That's really good. kinda was looking for the Rampage there, but that's okay. Literally the bottom card of the deck. Dreamcatcher, whenever you rescue add a card to your deck, that's actually probably going to be relevant over the course of this. I do intend to exhaust cards from our deck, but can I take a Feel No Pain before I take any exhausting cards? I'm not going to. Especially because if I'm offered the right kinds of cards, I won't be exhausting cards from my deck. That's an Entangle, so now it's just Defend. Alright, I'm actually really grateful that we got some very good defensive cards that turn. Okay. Not really too much I can do on that turn. I just had to make sure that I didn't draw Rampage. So Bash Rampage, the bottom two cards of our deck, that's really garbage. Because that means the first shuffle goes by and I've only played one Bash and one Rampage. Lock Potion, as well as Flex Thunderclap Carnage. No, if I didn't already have the Trip in my deck, I would take I would take Thunderclap. But I do already have the Trip in my deck, so I won't. I think it's actually going to be most important here for me to upgrade all of my defenses so that I can live while I do all of this. 14 versus 20 damage. We'll be trying to split the enemy in a couple turns. Please draw Rampage. Thank you. I would have liked Rampage and something else, but you know what? I didn't specify. That's my bad. So this sets up for the ability to kill the backliner with a Rampage next turn. Well, damn. Rampage is at the bottom of the new deck, which is really garbage. That's a lot of wounds in our deck. Of course, it decides yet again to attack this turn. Now strikes are enough for lethal. Don't want to split the enemy this turn on that HP value. Alright, good. Limit Break Berserk versus Brutality. I may have to take the Brutality here just for the extra draw per turn. And here I have to take the extra energy. It's going to severely limit our card choices, but kinda has to be that way. If we don't have the extra energy, we can't play the extra cards that we draw from Shrug It Off, from Brutality, and from Pommel Strike. And we're going to need the value of every extra card that we can get. So we have scaling already in this deck. I've won Ascension 15 with a Rampage deck before, but it did heavily rely on apparitions. Hey, there we go. Speed Potion, second Rampage. This deck doesn't have a headbutt in it yet, and it's less likely to get a headbutt because of the Busted Crown giving us 2 fewer card selections. So for that reason, I think we do take a second rampage. Whereas if I had a bunch of headbutts so that I could put a rampage back atop the deck, then I'd be focusing on one rampage rather than building each of them individually. Whereas here, I think we can afford to build 2. And maybe even have to. You know the saddest thing here? The thing that I want the most in this store is Dolly's Mirror so that I can get another copy of Shrug It Off. Pre-upgraded. It's a very expensive Shrug It Off. But I fear if we don't have that extra defense, we will just die. Special Relic. 3 extra attack on turn 1. 3 extra strength, rather. Omamori versus Sapphire Key. We'll definitely take the Omamori this early. I'll buy a single potion. Snecko confusing me kills me. Speed potion. Probably not going to be as impactful as the energy potion will be. Alright, because we have vulnerability on our enemies on turn 1, and we have 3 extra strength on turn 1, we can do some pretty wild damage. Those 2 wounds per turn are going to be really not great for us. We're about to be weakened this turn. We no longer have vulnerability on the front line of target. I should have done the draw first there because it's possible I drew Trip, but I didn't. Okay. Put off into another strike. Come on, Rampage for lethal next turn. Gosh, we need a rest after this. Right. Enemy down. Ginger, you can only become weakened, as well as the Emerald Key. Regen Potion, I have to take it. I need the HP. Rest in literally the next space. Warcry, if it was pre-upgraded, I would take. I've been turning it down a lot here. But the reason is I don't want to slow down my cycle through the decks, because I need to cycle so that I can get to my next Rampage, and I also need to cycle for the sake of Sundial. Whereas drawing a card and putting a card atop my deck has denied the draw of the Warcry initially, and then put a card back on top of my deck. Could have been a lot worse. Unfortunately, that's like all of our defense on turn 1. So while it could have been a lot worse, our following draws aren't going to be that great. Shelled Parasite down. Searing Blow, way too late to take that. Anchor, start each combat with 10 block. That's very important for us. We take a lot of damage on turn 1 while we're setting up our combos. I want to go across so that I can get 2 more upgrades. The 2 more upgrades would be Bash. Actually, probably Rampage and Trip. Maybe even Rampage and Pommel Strike. Definitely Rampage first, though. So that each of the Rampages is worth each other. Bottled Flame, put a Rampage in my opening hand. Yes. Obviously. Great. Alright, I'll just go for the full defense, though. And it pays off. Excellent. I'm still looking for more defense. I just can't find it. Gosh, that's a lot of cleaves you're offering me here, game. I'm going to upgrade the Pommel Strike literally just because we have the Champ as our final boss on this floor, and I am terrified of them. So drawing extra cards to get to our next rampage seems like a really good idea to me. I want to play the extra defense this turn, but 6 more defense. Is that worth the 2 rampages I would miss? I don't think so, but I might get a potion after this fight anyway, so. My hope is that having played those 2 rampages before is going to help us more deftly avoid this turn. Never mind, just full block. I'm really glad that I did that with the pommel... sorry, not the pommel strike, the... What was it again? Shrug it off. That is to say, copying the shrug it off. Rest here, possible card selection, True Grit. If it was pre-upgraded, yes. Can I still turn it down? I can't. I have to take it. And then I'm just going to have to prioritize its upgrade next day. Get the opportunity. Fine. Moving a strike out of my deck there is a great thing to do. It's great. I really shouldn't be focusing on my strikes damages at all. It's just about these rampages. Every other card in the deck is supposed to just get me to my next rampage. A big part of that reason is because the champ becomes so potent. Alright, I'll shrug it off first. Play 2 defends and then a True Grit. Burns the defend, literally what I didn't want there. But the champ becomes so potent when they transform. And the best way that I can stop them from transforming... It's a 1/5 chance this is really bad. Cool. The best way I can stop them from getting a bunch of damage out after they transform is by having a scaling element in my deck that is so powerful by the time they transform that I can just knock them back down. So enemy is not yet going to try and transform back yet. Not yet going to try and transform back yet. Now they will start trying to. So now I'm pretty much just obsessed with as much damage as I can get out. I've got 2 turns for it. I didn't throw out the trip there because the enemy purges their debuffs at the end of that anyway, so it really didn't matter. If I don't get vulnerability in the next draw, I'm dead, right? No, I've got lethal. Woo! Alright, cool. Entropic Brew, fill your empty potion slots with random potions, as well as Barricade. This deck doesn't actually defend itself that much, and definitely cannot afford to play a Barricade. Cursed Key. Gain energy at the start of each turn. Whenever you would open a non-boss chest, obtain a curse. More than happy to. 5 energy now. Another shrug it off. Another shrug it off. Come on. Ugh. This, I'm gonna have to go to that shop. I'm looking for any defensive options. And I can't rely on battles to give them to me. For obvious reasons. Or at least for reasons that ought to be obvious. Yeah, definitely could have ordered that better. I'll be taking 11 damage here. I don't know whether I would have used either of those, even if I knew that they were there, but still. More than happy to have targets revive on this field. I'm still building my rampages. Maybe not exactly at the rate I would like, but I'm still building them. Okay. Awesome. Getting very close to a turn that we just drop 2 rampages and win. Rampage for the back line, bash strike for the fronts. Shrug it off for the extra damage, and get the kill. We actually have vulnerability already. I'm going to take the speed potion for a defensive factor. Explode it down. I shouldn't be removing defensive elements from this deck, which is actually a problem on my behalf. A mistake on my behalf, I mean. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of difficulty with this Spiker. I'm just going to take a whole lot of damage. Don't put the Rampage. Second worst target, but that's okay. Shrug, shrug. Rampage. Pommel? If I'm willing to take 8 damage this turn, am I? Probably not, actually. Yeah, we're fine. Can't take that. Might burn a Rampage that we desperately need. Don't have any way to manipulate the top of our deck. Yes, I'm aware that Warcry allows you to manipulate the top of your deck. Warcry and Havoc in the exact same hand, as well as something that I want to put atop my deck and burn. It's much easier to just stack my deck with draw. Enemy would make me vulnerable this turn. How comfortable am I with that? Pretty comfortable. They can't weaken me. So. No, I'm just gonna defend as best I can against that. Because I can't risk you trying to put a Parasite in my deck, especially because I still have to open a chest later to get the Sapphire key. Thank you. Jeez. Doing a hell of a lot of over-attacking there. That's fine. I'm setting myself up for a double Rampage kill. That'll do it. Defensive card. That's not gonna help. We'll take the Blood Vial, so at the start of each combat we lose, gain 2 HP. That's gonna be really necessary. Lose a strike, more than happy to. Here I'm going to smith that True Grit so that I can actually play it with confidence. I don't scale as fast as these enemies do. I could heal without putting a Writhe in my deck. I really do need some healing here. I can make some of my cards in my deck 0 cost, but the problem with that is it will screw with my initial draw, and my initial draw is the most important thing to this deck right now, so that I can get all my powers played, my power, and start the Rampage engine. I think I'm very liable to die quite soon. Blue Candle could be interesting, but it has to be the Sapphire Key here. Otherwise, I am not guaranteed to actually even be able to go and fight the heart. Yeah, time eater at the end. Not time eater at the end, sorry. The character that we have at the end of the floor that I cannot for the life of me remember is the Awakened one. The Awakened one is actually going to be, you know, not that bad. I'm not going to play that Rampage. I'm relying entirely on the other Rampage now, but I really just need the defense wherever I can get it right now. Okay. Frontliner goes down. Q pommel strike, and beautiful. Second pommel strike. Now we have enough energy. I think we take the extra pommel strike here. I mean, 5 energy is, you know, significant. I kind of want to go for the extra shop. It's 100 for a removal right now. I could easily afford one soon. Shrug it off. Thank you. Oh, that's so important. This is where my ancient potion would go if I had one. Mm-hmm. Very glad I rested in the last space. I'd have loved to shrug it off there, but I didn't need the extra block, and also, if I drew a Rampage, I would have been very sad about it. Literally can't afford my card removal by exactly 1. Has to be a strike out of the deck so that I increase the consistency of drawing defenses. I'm just going to be happy if this kills Ascension 15, frankly, especially considering I can't rest in the next space as much as I desperately want to. Otherwise, I won't be able to go to the heart. This isn't going to be enough offense, so I'm now needing to look for defense. Using the speed potion. I can't take a bunch of damage here. I would just lose. Shrug it off. Shrug it off. Rampage before I shrug it off just in case I draw that same Rampage again. Yeah, may well have done, actually. Okay. Alright. We're getting a reasonable amount of block every turn and a reasonable amount of attack every turn now. Pommel strike pre-upgraded. Yeah, it's a card draw. I have to recall here, unfortunately. This might result in me dying, but if I'd rested there, I think I would be in with a very, very good shot for winning. I think I do need to play the brutality, unfortunately. I didn't want to waste damage by throwing the pommel strike on a character that was already going to die to a normal strike. Uh-huh. Took a bunch of damage there. It's okay, though. Shrug it off first. Yes, exactly why I shrugged it off first. Because I wanted to get the vulnerability draw there. Burn a strike, defend, now pommel strike. Great, great, great. This is going very well. $27.36. Defend one more time. Our rampages are getting larger. I think Bash is too expensive to leave in the deck. Ow. I only have 6 more turns to win this, otherwise I literally will die. No, I'm dead this turn. That's really unfortunate. Like, I drafted every Shrug It Off that I could find. Sure, I probably put one too many Pommel Strikes in this deck, but the extra draw that we get from that really helped us like rocket off of the point at the very start there. I'll play the Steroid Potion, go for the attacks. And then die. I fundamentally do believe if I wasn't going for the heart and rested there, I would have just had another Ascension 15 victory using Rampages. And not only that, but Rampages without apparitions. That was a really good run. Not every good run ends in a victory. And not every victory was a good run. Sometimes you just have fun. And that was very fun. I haven't been able to play a good proper Rampage deck in a while, and it's rejuvenated my spirit. For the moment though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire, the Heartbreaker Chronicles. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself, so there's a playlist in the description down below with all my content of this game, past, present, and future, and hopefully we'll see you next time.